Hi, it's Marcus Guiliano, and I am your host.
I'm Erica Farrow. I'm your guest.
Co-host.
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 You're on every show, I think.
Not every show.
Most shows.
Quite a few.
Okay. Today, you brought me a wine to taste.
We're out of the box. Today's out of the box wine block day.
Yes. I've already had a few sips.
I had a few
You were
bottles.
so excited. You were so excited when you brought this to me. Now, let's show them what we're drinking.
You want to show them first?
Show them right off the bat what we're drinking.
I don't want to lose credibility up front.
Villa M. What is it?
Armando.
Villa Armando.
Caso Rustica.
So you bring this wine to me, and you tell me, Marcus, you've got to try this wine. It's the closest thing that I know to homemade wine.
This is what you get when you go to a restaurant and like there's a rumor they're making homemade wine. They set up these whole things. In Queens, there's a famous restaurant called the Parkside. There's a famous restaurant called Don Pepe's that people think that, you know, because they serve them in generic bottles that they save, Absolute vodka bottles, whatever. They just fill them up, stick them in the fridge because it's usually served slightly chilled.
Okay.
This is not a room temperature wine. Actually, 57 degrees cellar temperature I think is perfect.
Okay.
But they tout this as homemade wine. It's really homemade style wine because they're pouring it from a bottle. They're not making it in the basement.
Now, high in alcohol.
16%.
16%, that's high. Now, you don't taste the alcohol.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Now, I was in Italy last fall, and when Jamie and I went to Italy, you know, we tried to avoid all the tourist traps. We went in the back country where we want to do what the Italians do. So we wanted to avoid the whole Rome Colosseum and Florence and all that kind of stuff, and we rented a car and we drove around everywhere and went into small towns and villages, and you know, and it was really, really interesting. We had a great time. When we were there 12 years ago, we did all the touristy things. This time was all backcountry, lots of vineyards.
Right.
But the little town that we were staying in had a little small wine shop that had the vats of wine right in the store, a little store, and Jamie and I would go to the market in the mornings and, you know, get our fresh produce and our fruit and everything right at the market and some bread. In this little wine shop that we walked past, you'd see all the older ladies and guys walking with their plastic jugs. Empty plastic jugs, go into the wine shop and then
Filling them up.
Fill right up in there, and literally like gallon water bottles or whatever they had, they were walking in and filling up with it. And they have the tube coming right out of these vats, and that was their homemade wine.
I'm telling you, this wine is, I mean, you go to Italy, you see a bunch of, you know, older gentlemen playing bocce ball in the square. They're sitting in their t-shirts, have a glass of ice. They take a thing of jug wine that they made at home, not this, something they made at home. They pour it in jelly jar cups, you know, from old jelly jars. I mean, this is as old style as it gets.
So you bring me the bottle, I look at it, I taste it, I said, wow, okay. Then I call the distributor, and I talk to the distributor, and I know the distributor is one of my salespeople, and I said, John, tell me about Villa Armando. And without a prompt, John says, Marcus, it's the closest thing you're going to get to your grandfather's wine.
That's it.
So this is a unanimous decision here.
This is homemade wine.
Unanimous.
I don't even think if we made wine in the basement, we could get this close to what homemade wine tastes like. That's how authentic it is to me.
Right. I'm not sure how I want to word that. Maybe look it up and see how they do it on Big Beers. See how they tag it, or on our beers and the beers on tap.winespot.com.
I'll tell you, this is room temperature. It's also
this is great. So I placed an order for this as of you bringing this in. I placed an order, and I think, you know, even for our sangria, this will be a huge hit.
Well, what they do, as I said, the old Italians, is what they'll do is they'll just put in peaches, which is kind of an Italian-style sangria. You know, Spanish style, they had a lot of different fruits and citrus fruits. Italian style is more just wine and peaches, a little chilled, a nice summer drink, and with the price of peaches, I wouldn't imagine that would probably work out.
There's a lot going on in this wine.
I gotta tell you.
It's easy to drink. It says mellow. Does it say mellow wine?
It says mellow, and I think it says mellow because right under it says alcohol 16%. That would scare anyone.
Right.
But if anyone's worried about what am I going to do with a 4-liter bottle, 16% alcohol, stick this under your sink, you're good for a month.
The higher the alcohol, the longer it's going to last.
It's going to last, right.
And the finish it's really, I mean, this is a great summer red.
This is the most
phenomenal summer red.
The most surprising wine I've tasted. I mean, if you break down 4 liters,
no,
it's $3.75, $4 a bottle.
What made you buy this?
Because my father was in from Florida. I went to the shopping center in New Paltz where I buy the whole
Fox and Hound. You went to. This is Fox and Hound in New Paltz.
Fox and Hound in New, right. So I'm walking in. My father walks by. He does a double take. Because I guess this is not something that you could find in stock everywhere.
Right.
So he does a double take and he says, Eric, you gotta get this wine. You got this. He said, this is drinking wine out of the barrel. Has
your father tasted this before?
He's been drinking it for 50 years.
That brand right there.
Exactly.
Okay.
He knew the wine. He's 75 years old, old Italian guy. His parents.
So he got excited.
Parents came right off the boat from Italy. His father kept this under the sink at the vacation home. They went outside with the jelly jars. We got a lot of things going on here.
Well, Foxy's updating the specials, so she just put on the tap beer list.
You're giving them a hint at our next blog.
Oh, okay. Well, no hints.
You already said the P word.
I know.
No one heard it though.
Nobody heard it.
America's second best Pilsner, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. They call it a lager here.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's
lager.
They're calling it a pale lager on rate beer.
I keep telling you I don't know.
Lager, Pilsner, light. It's a light beer. So.
Well, it's not a light beer. I mean, it's not a Coors.
It's not a Coors Light or a Bud Light or it's
a classic American.
It's a classic,
Something has to be updated.
Let's see.
So let's close out this blog, bro. Move on to the next.
Move on to the next one. So Villa Armando, California, from Lodi. That's it. That actually has designation here. From Lodi, California, they're saying. It says bottled in California, California. Maybe the company is in Lodi.
It's Oakville something, right?
Oak
Hill Winery, Morgan Hill, California.
When I looked in the list for the vendor, it actually said Lodi, California. So I don't know where their fruit's probably coming from all over the state, and who even knows what's in here. We'll have to do some research. Maybe we'll call the winery.
5th generation winemaker.
Maybe we'll call them and find out what's actually in there, so we know what's in there, so we know more about it.
So now, do you think this will be available if they come in? Or what? You didn't make any final decision.
I mean, this is brand new. This is a half an hour in the door right now.
So you don't know exactly what you're going to do.
I barely even know the cost of it right now.
Okay.
So
hopefully it'll be available by the carafe. But
that would be ideal.
That would be huge.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Homemade wine.